The temperatures are heating up here in the Middle Tennessee area, and so is our Nashville real estate market. So stay tuned, because in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through what we are currently seeing in the market and what we believe is coming. All of that and more in today's video. Everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Martin, and I am a local Nashville real estate agent and founder of the Caitlin Martin team, powered by 𝐋𝐈𝐊𝐄 Realtors, the Andrews Group. I specialize in working with savvy sellers who want to sell right and sell smart, as well as working with out-of-staters looking to relocate to the Middle Tennessee area. Now, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much. Please feel free to click subscribe down below so that you are notified anytime I release new video content, which is every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time. And also, please feel free to head on over to Instagram and follow me at Caitlin Martin Realtor, and you can follow the team Instagram at the Caitlin Martin Team, where you will find us sharing all things about Nashville life and real estate there. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about what is currently happening in the Nashville real estate market, because spring is right around the corner and we are already starting to see the effects of the spring selling season. So what's taking place? Well, in about the last 3 to 4 weeks, so pretty much from the beginning of February, we have started to see far more activity at open houses, whereas say in November and December, we were really seeing maybe a handful of people, maybe no people coming through. Now, all of a sudden, we are starting to see 30, 40, 50 groups of people coming through. Sometimes maybe it's more like 10, depending on the property and location, but we are starting to see more traffic at our open houses. But that's not the only indicator of what's going on. Not only are we seeing that, but now we are seeing multiple offer situations come back to the market. Now, before you freak out, this is not the kind of multiple offer situation, at least as of right now and as of the recording of this video, which is the beginning of March of 2023. It's not that crazy going wildly out of control like we saw through most of 2021 and the beginning of 2022, but we are definitely seeing multiple offer situations come back to the market, which means if you're interested in a property, you are going to have to make quicker decisions. Now, not all properties are dealing with multiple offer situations. There are still some where you can still be the only one on the table, but especially over the last 2 weekends, we've really seen those multiple offer situations come back, which means you have to make quicker choices. So what does that mean as we move into spring? Well, if we actually take a look at what's going on, our data is showing that even though we were down 25% in terms of the number of closings in February of 2023 versus February of 2022, even though we were down, we are watching activity pick back up, which is fairly typical. Spring is known for being one of the hottest selling seasons of the entire year. You know, as people continue to look to relocate and as people look to make a move, they normally want to time that closing around the end of school so that they can get settled for summer before the following school year starts. So again, this is normal to see more activity, but the Nashville real estate market continues to be in demand, and we are continuing to see things move. Whereas we had a lull there kind of in Q4 into the beginning of this year, we are now starting to see activity pick back up. More buyers are hitting the market again, and multiple offer situations are coming back to the table. Now, before we dive into a couple of other talking points in terms of what is expected and what you need to know, especially if you're considering a move to the Middle Tennessee area and specifically the Williamson County area, let's first take a look at numbers. Let's take a look at the median home sale price in Williamson County for Brentwood, Franklin, and Nolensville, and then we're going to take a look at the average. So there is going to be a bit of a difference. But one thing that I've had people comment is that they're noticing or believe they're seeing where home prices are dropping. Here's the thing. I've said it before, I'll say it again, but you have to remember when it comes to pricing, when our market was white hot like it was this time last year, there is the value of homes that was dictated by the market, and then you had what the buyer was willing to pay. So the buyer owned a piece of that pricing. And then our market, as you know, through a lot of 2022 really started to stabilize, started to normalize. And so whereas people are saying prices are dropping, what we were watching was a correction. So whereas buyers were willing to pay so much more over list when the market was white hot and inventory was exceedingly low, we really watched as the market shifted. We really watched where that piece of what the buyer owned started to fade away, and we reverted back to the more normalized what the market dictates in terms of pricing. Now, like I said, we are seeing multiple offers. Now, it's more at the moment, like I said, it's not exceedingly over. The market's not demanding exceedingly over when it comes to where buyers are having to go. I know for me, a couple of mine in terms of getting the pricing, it was not exceedingly, like we're not talking like 50,000, 60,000, 100,000 over. Did not have to do that, but it did require going some over list. It was just far more on that conservative side. I'll tell you, it was more than 5,000, less than 25, if that gives any indication. So let's actually take a look first at what the median home sale price for February of 2023 was for a single family home in Brentwood, Franklin, and Nolensville. So first up in Brentwood, the median home sale price for a single family home was $1,100,000, which was actually up 11.7%. Then we're going to take a look at Franklin, where the median home sale price was $899,900, which was actually an increase of 16.6% over the same time last year. Like I said, over what the median was at the same time last year. So again, even though our market has corrected and stabilized, we're still seeing home prices appreciate. And now let's take a look at Nolensville. So in Nolensville in February 2023, the median home sale price was $801,937, which was actually up 30.4% from the same time last year. Now we just talked about median, which of course is taking everything into consideration, cutting off the high end and the low end and getting your median. Now we're going to take a look at average, which is taking into account everything, because you're going to see some shifts in those numbers. So I just wanted to make sure that I clarified as we get ready to talk about this. So let's now look at the average home sale price in each of these three locations. So first up is going to be Brentwood. The average home sale price in February of 2023 was $1,415,091, which is an increase of 16.2% over the same time last year. Now let's look at Franklin. The average home sale price was $1,083,610, which is actually an increase of 8% over the same time last year. And then let's take a look at Nolensville. So in Nolensville, the average home sale price was $855,886, which was an increase of 30.4%. So again, I know that as the market really stabilized and corrected itself through 2022 into the beginning of this year, there was a lot of fear-based assumptions happening that all of a sudden home prices were receding because people were seeing pricing drops in listings. And again, that's the stabilization, because now the market's correcting itself since that buyer-owned piece of the pricing started to fade away. So now, again, with multiple offers on the table, okay, here's the thing with inventory. We are actually up 147% in terms of inventory from February 2022 to February 2023. But that's only a difference, and this is accounting for the entire Middle Tennessee area. That's only a difference of 5,000 more homes on the market, and that may seem like a lot, but depending on where you're looking, what county you're in, ultimately, inventory is still low. We are still sitting in a seller's market, and all of this is evidence that our spring selling season is coming back to the table, because we are seeing more buyer activity pick up. We are starting to see those multiple offer situations again. Now let's talk a little bit more in depth about Williamson County in general, because another thing that I've continued to hear people talk about is just their fear of what's going to happen in the years to come, their fear of recession. And again, we cannot control things that are happening on a national level, But we can look at local indicators that can help give us a basis to work off of to make our best predictions as we're moving forward. As I've said it before in previous videos, the Middle Tennessee area, especially Williamson County, it's not to say that we are completely immune from a big national economic downturn, but we do have a lot going for us that helps give us more insulation and helps protect us more in the event of a downturn. And in fact, a report from ATTOM, which is ATTOM, they're actually one of the leading curators of real estate data for both residential and land. They put together a lot of data. They go through a lot nationwide, and it helps them get an indicator of what's going on in different parts of the country, and they look at it at a county level. And so this report came out and it started to identify all of these counties that are most vulnerable to a downturn and those that are least vulnerable to a downturn. They looked at things like affordability, number of foreclosures, and several other economic factors, and that they pulled that data, and that's what compiled these lists of the cities that are most likely to experience a downturn or be affected negatively because of a national downturn versus those that are least likely to be affected. Some of the counties that ended up in that most vulnerable list were some that are around the Chicago area, New York City, different places in California, and Philadelphia. Now, on the other list, the counties that are least vulnerable to a downturn, Tennessee actually had 6 counties make that list. In fact, 4 of those are in the Middle Tennessee area. So it's Davidson County, Rutherford County, Sumner County, and of course, Williamson County, which is the home to Franklin, Brentwood, Nolensville, Arrington, Thompson Station, most of Spring Hill, Fairview, towns like that that are in Williamson County. So we've been talking about Williamson County, and Williamson County ended up on that list. And so, like I've said before, Williamson County fared much better than a lot of the other parts of the country during the downturn in 08, 09. And now we're taking a look at what we have going for us in Williamson County as we move through the next couple of years. So let's take a look at some of the reasons why Williamson County and Middle Tennessee in general, but why Williamson County specifically landed on the list of counties least vulnerable to a downturn. In Q3 of 2022, because again, ATTOM looked at several things, including foreclosures. So they're looking at to see how many mortgages are actually underwater. So how many homeowners actually owe more than the equity in which they have in the home or what the property is valued at. And so Williamson County, there's only 1.9% of homes in which homeowners are considered to be underwater. Not only that, but Williamson County actually leads the entire state in its unemployment rate, which sits at 2.1%. Then you have to look at what's coming in the future. The future job growth over the next 10 years is expected to be 41.6%, which is higher than the national average of 33.5%. So again, we've got so much going for us in Williamson County. Now, I'm gonna throw out Zillow and a stat from Zillow, which I always tell people you have to take Zillow, especially things like Zestimate or like their rental projections, with a grain of salt. Now, Zillow has actually ranked Middle Tennessee number 5 in terms of the hottest real estate growth areas in the country. So again, we are continuing to grow. And of course, a lot of that is because of relocation buyers. Why are people relocating here? Well, again, you've got affordability, which yes, Williamson County real estate is going to be some of the highest in Tennessee, but outside of that, Tennessee in general, no state income tax, lower property taxes, low unemployment rates, quality of life. There's a lot going for us here in the Middle Tennessee area. In fact, a lot of the experts are saying because of our local economy, because of the low unemployment rate, because of the projected income, or because of the projected job growth that's expected to come, because of everything that's starting to factor into the Middle Tennessee area, experts are predicting that our home prices are not going anywhere anytime soon. And so does that mean that you're gonna have to pay exceedingly over list price? No, it does not, because there's still opportunities for buyers. This is by no means like a warning to buyers of saying like, don't buy. I've always said, anyone who wants to be here, I want you to be here, but I want to be able to give you an accurate picture of what's happening in our market so that if you are getting close to ready to buy, you have an accurate idea of just what's happening so you know what to expect as you start the process. So again, is Middle Tennessee completely immune from something happening? No, but we do still have a really healthy real estate market. Prices are expected to continue to appreciate, just at a more moderate rate. Of course, you know, that what we saw in 2021 into 2022, where we saw home prices appreciating in value 4% month over month, that's not sustainable. But overall, we are expected to continue on an upward trajectory, which is great for homeowners because once you get in, you can buy and then wait and watch your equity grow. So if you are thinking about buying, you know, just a heads up, prepare yourself because you may end up in a multiple offer situation. Now, if you are a seller, the good news is the buyers are out there. Even though inventory is up from this time last year we were at critically low levels. Now we are just sitting in a spot where we have more inventory, but we still have about just a little less than 3 months supply, which means we could clear out that entire inventory in just less than 3 months, which means we're still in a seller's market. There is still great opportunity for sellers. And we know that as we are headed into this traditional spring selling season, that the buyers are gonna be out, and this is a great opportunity to list your home. And there absolutely still is opportunity for you out there if you were thinking about selling. Now, if you were thinking about making a move to the Middle Tennessee area, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself and my team. We would love to help you make that move as seamless as possible. Now, if you're ready to start that conversation, there is a link below to go ahead and book an initial discovery Zoom call with me so we can talk about your move and see if we are a fit to work together. But if you're not ready to have that conversation yet, that's okay too. You can actually click even further down below where you can grab my free Nashville relocation guide. And please don't hesitate to reach out whenever you are ready to start that conversation. All of my contact information is below. Again, my name is Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next time.